All right, next up, Mark in Florida.
May the force be with you.
What is the Atheist Agenda? My goodness. Is there such a thing?
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Atheist Agenda.
There's a running joke about the gay agenda and how gays are going to take over the world and then have martinis.
What's going on, Mark?
Well, I was just calling in because I want to get a better understanding of the atheist mindset and agenda so that I can more properly have dialogue.
Oh, great.
With the atheists. Because what I found, I really believe that that dialogue is the most important thing in trying to understand each, one's position.
Agreed.
And
that's music to our ears.
And although I think it's on both sides, I'm a minister and I'm a Christian, and I am open, more than open, and in fact I seek out those that I can gain their understanding and their viewpoint.
Cool.
And the reason why I'm calling in and I'm asking this question is because it just seems to me that the majority of the interactions that I've had with those who identify themselves as atheists have been, from the atheist standpoint, have been very aggressive and very anti-theist. And I'm trying to understand.
I'd probably fit in that category. So we talked about elevator speeches. Atheism is a position on a belief in God and nothing else. So atheists lack a belief in God. I would call myself an anti-theist because I think that these religious beliefs often carry with them a lot of baggage, and these beliefs have caused a lot of harm in the world over time.
I agree.
And we're better off without them because we don't have sufficient evidence to believe these theological claims. So
so that's great. So now I have a better understanding of the atheist kind of mindset and position.
Right. It's more of a mindset, not an agenda.
Yeah, I've met other atheists who are maybe more laissez-faire about the harm of religion and these sorts of things.
I can say personally that where my passion comes from, like if somebody were to talk to me and if they were to assume that I came off aggressive, it might be because I'm very passionate about this stuff, because I have been very hurt by this stuff. And I can look back and see how much damage has done just to me. And I'm like, how much damage is being done to other people and will be done to other people. And I thought this world was past this already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I understand that entirely. In fact, in the ministry that I'm in, I deal a lot with damaged people, and a lot of those damaged people come from religion or religious backgrounds. And there is there's a huge toxic atmosphere in a lot of religious mindset. I don't know if you want to call them mindsets or these types of things. So I understand this entirely. And my heart goes out to them. And, and I want to say a couple of things. I don't want to take up too much time, but a lot of the atheists that I speak of must have had some kind of negative experience because there's a lot of aggression and mocking and name calling and things like that I just, that I guess could only...
Well, sometimes folks tell us we're going to go to hell because we don't believe whatever, and that's just a fucking threat, and it's undeserved, and we don't tolerate it.
And some people have never...
100% with you.
And some people have never believed in the first place, and so to them... Sure. Actually, the further I get away from religion, the more it appears the same way to me. But to me, it literally, looking back, looks like, oh my God, y'all still believe in Santa Claus. And so it's that ridiculous of a concept to me. And so that's why I understand why some people may think that I come off as mocking, but it's that ridiculous.
Right. And I'm 100% with you. I mean, even in what I would call the only way I can define it is having a relationship with God. I find that for me, there's a huge distinction between someone being religious and somebody having a relationship with God. For me,
I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Can't you have a relationship with
try to
yourself?
explain it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a relationship with me.
With myself, I have a relationship with my wife, I have a relationship with my kids.
Right.
We'd want to make sure
And
there's
so
a God
I have all
before
of these.
trying to have a relationship with it.
So why do we say it's
I-
a relationship with God is different from religion?
Because if we look at, and I'm not trying to be offensive or preach or anything like that. I'm just trying to answer
No,
the
yeah.
question.
I asked you a question,
opposed to-
so you can answer.
The gospel of Jesus Christ in Scripture is not about becoming religious. It's about the reestablishment of a relationship with a Creator.
Why should we care what the gospel says?
Well, I was just answering your question.
No, I
question
understand.
was why.
But you're saying the reason is because the gospel says this. And I'm saying, wait, let's start with why should I care what the gospel says at all?
The reason why I believe that you should be concerned is because in my belief system, I believe a heavy price was paid in order to provide that opportunity.
So I don't
Right.
believe that. So how can you convince me of
if we
that?
don't believe we're going to go to
I
hell.
can't.
Right. So if I don't believe that, how are you
no
going to
way.
convince me? If I don't believe in
Can't.
the gospel, I don't believe there's a reason to believe in the gospel. Why should I care anything about what the gospel says?
Right. And so I want to answer your question. There's no way I can convince you that you should pursue a relationship with God through Christ. I can't convince you of that.
Okay.
And I want to say this. That is not my purpose. I mean, as
Okay.
far as I understand what you're saying about people forcing religion on you and making you, kowtow to their demands
But
I mean, to me, that's just religious insanity.
I want to be very, very clear, though, that my anger
Okay.
towards the harm that I can see isn't the only reason I'm doing this. It's because of the harm that I see to other people. I'm angry at God, and so I'm going to get back at him. It's like, no, oh my God, people still believe this, and it's hurting people. So do you see the difference?
I absolutely agree with
Okay.
you. I believe that people are being hurt every day throughout the world
Yeah.
because of religious fanatics. And here, can I give you just a little bit of background about me?
Let's keep it
Would
to
that be okay?
20, 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. Wasn't raised religious. Didn't know anything about Bible, God, anything, any religions, isms, anything else, and didn't want anything to do with it. Couldn't stand anybody who was religious. I thought they were just a bunch of fanatics, I personally, somebody presented me with the gospel in my apartment when I was 19 years old. And I didn't know whether or not it was true or not. I had no clue. He just presented it to me. But he stated to me that if I pursued this route, that it would be a route to come into contact with God. And I said, hey, if he's real, he's real. If he's not, he's not. That's
Right.
all there is to it. If I can know him for myself, wonderful. If I can't, I'll just move on, right? And I had an experience, something just unbelievable, powerful experience. And we were, they were talking about personal experiences before that convinced me without a doubt that God.
Right.
And then,
But we
from
also
that
talked
point
about how
forward-
personal experiences can be wrong. And you're presenting this gospel thing to me, and I still don't understand why we're talking about it.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the only evidence that I could present to you regarding the reality of what I believe the existence of God is, the reality of God, his existence, is the number of individuals who applied the same,
Yeah, this is
Fallacy,
an
is
argument
that-
from popularity.
Popularity.
what have you. Having not popularity, no. A lot of people can say they're Christian. That doesn't mean anything.
Wait, no. So do you
But
think
having
that the number of people that believe something has anything to do with whether or not that
Absolutely
something is true?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so then
But
why are we talking about the number of
belief-
people?
No, and let's address that too, belief and faith, because
Ooh.
you can believe whatever you want. You can have faith.
No,
in
wait.
Yeah,
And
you can have faith in whatever you want. That's right.
I don't. Can you believe whatever you want? Because I just either believe something or I don't. And when I believe something and I'm wrong, I still believe it,
right?
but I'm still wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
But you can believe you can fly, jump off a cliff. And
Does that make it true?
You can't.
Right.
No, absolutely not. Believing in something doesn't make it true.
But did I
Neither
choose
does
to
somebody
believe
say
that?
They have faith in something. What's that?
Do people choose to believe these? I don't think people choose.
I think we're mostly in agreement here.
That's the whole crux. I'm so glad that you said that because I think from the atheist, and I'm not trying to be offensive when I say mindset. I'm just saying position, right?
You're good.
I think from the atheist position, it seems to me as if the atheist position is that those who believe in God as far as a personal, a God that reveals himself to a human being, just kind of got up one day and said, you know what, sounds good to me. I would
No. It's often indoctrination from childhood.
Okay, indoctrination.
A lot of times it is, but sometimes it's stuff like what you experienced. But coming from someone who was raised in that, and I did believe that until I was 27. And then I found out at one point in my life that I really wanted to know the evidence. I really wanted to have the proof.
Right,
and so I looked for it. And what I did was I went on YouTube and typed in atheist versus theist debates because I wanted to hear the non-biased sides. I'd never listened really to the atheist side, right? So I did that I am fortunate enough that I can listen to audiobooks and stuff while I'm working. So I had 8 hours a day for several days of listening to debates. And after about 4 or 5 days, it just clicked. And I couldn't control that. I didn't ask for that to happen. It just happened. And so what I would say is that you sound like a very reasonable person, a very kind person. It sounds like we're on the page about a lot of the same things. And what I'm saying to you is that I don't believe in a God and I'm okay. So can I ask that you just keep asking questions and keep talking to atheists and asking about their experiences and their perspectives? Because I think it will click for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. The problem with that for me is that I have experiences all the time, every day. I get in prayer.
I understand that.
The tangible presence of God, and so it's like almost an impossibility for me to come to a place where I could deny the existence of God would be about the same as me denying the existence of my parents.
I don't know about that because I have proof of your parents. I could have proof of your parents if I wanted to. But
that's true.
But can you email me?
And that's another topic.
Can you email me at Jenna Belk at atheist-community.org? I want to continue talking to you, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, we're low on time.
That's
Mark,
wonderful. And I thank you guys for being so cordial.
Yeah.
And so
we like people
in dialogue.
Yeah, we appreciate your call, and we hope you call back.
Thank you so much.
Some other time.
Thank you so much.
We have one other caller to get to. Thank you, Mark.